All right, everybody, I've got a brand new DCU update for you guys today, and things are coming fast and furious with the DC information, and I'm going to keep doing these videos as long as this information keeps getting released. No sooner did I finish my videos yesterday, and it was revealed that Warner Brothers Discovery has revealed a massive cameo for Shazam! Fury of the Gods. And we're going to take a look at this in a minute, and then I'm going to talk about where everything is headed because, when I got done with my videos yesterday, I did a very funny post on Twitter that I thought was hilarious. Most people thought it was funny. Some people didn't think it was funny, but I thought it was freaking hilarious, and I'll show that here in this video. But we're going to talk about where this is all headed. But I will tell you right now that Warner Brothers Discovery is in complete meltdown mode. They're in panic mode. They are grasping at straws at this stage. And we saw it with Black Adam. That's why they kind of threw Henry Cavill out there on the circuit, was to try to garner up sales. And they're doing it again this time. And they're getting ahead of the game this time. I don't think this is going to help, but I'm going to talk about what this is going to lead to. If you haven't already, please like the video. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, and you will be notified as I have new videos go up. All right, so let's take a look at a couple of things here. First of all, I've got this here. This was my post on Twitter yesterday. If you're not following me over there, I invite you guys to go over there. It's Aaron Fisher, my review, at Review Fisher. And here was my post. Breaking news. James Gunn isn't just the writer and director of Superman Legacy. He is also playing Superman, and his wife is Lois. You heard it here first. So I was acting as a scooper on this one. I thought it was rather funny because James Gunn is the most narcissistic CEO I think I've ever seen. This guy wants to do it all. They're claiming it's not the Gunn show, but it certainly is. Now, people got on my case and said, well, he's directing just one movie. It's not just that. It's the fact that he's writing it. He's directing it. He's also going to, he's bringing back, he's doing the Waller show, which is tied to his Suicide Squad. He's going to be doing a Peacemaker season 2. He's writing Creature Commandos. So this is more than just him directing one of the films, that's going to be coming out. Now, here's the good news in all of this. I like the fact that James Gunn is the writer and the director of this film. Because if Superman fails, and I think it's going to, if it fails, they'll have nobody to blame but James Gunn himself. And I think David Zaslav realizes this, and, I'm going to show you where this is headed with this quote here in a few minutes. I think he's looking ahead to the possibilities here. Now, let's talk about this cameo. So you can see right here that it shows Shazam 2 just spoiled its huge DC cameo in new footage. They actually showed the video. So Gal Gadot is definitely in the film. They spoiled it. It was on some WWE event yesterday. They showed the actual video. It was a spot, a TV spot for the movie. And they actually showed her face in it. They're showing you that she is definitely in the film. They are in panic mode. And they're in panic mode because this film is not it's not tracking very well at all. The film is scheduled to make just as much, but possibly less than the first Shazam did in its first week. And let's be honest, most of these films do well in their first week and then they take a big dive. And I will point out that Black Adam is, it made probably twice as much as what Shazam 2 is scheduled to make in its opening weekend. And things did not bode well after that. And it's not going to bode well for Shazam after that as well. Warner Brothers Discovery is in panic mode. They don't know what to do at this stage. I don't think they have a clear direction. Even with James Gunn in there, yes, they have a plan in place. But what's happened is they've seen what the fans can do. I don't think David Zaslav is stupid. I think he's very intelligent. He wouldn't be where he is if he wasn't. And, the one thing that people have come after me on my videos is the fact that nobody went to see these movies. There's no interest in the DC brand. And that I'm constantly told the Snyderverse fans don't have any relevance on the box office. Well, then why did Black Adam fail? Those same people will come and tell you that Black Adam failed because people like me didn't go see it. And a lot of us did. I did. I saw it 3 times. I wanted to support them because they were bringing Henry Cavill back, and I've talked about that. So you can't have it both ways. Either we affect it or we don't. And I guarantee you the fans do affect it. There's no question about it. And if you don't get the fans to go see these films 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a dozen times, you're not going to make the money that's needed to be made to make it a blockbuster hit. So because of this, I mentioned something about a quote during that investor call a couple of weeks ago that one of the executives had made, and I didn't realize it was actually David Zaslav himself. And one of my commenters actually posted this quote, and this is what I was trying to look for a couple of weeks ago. So we can see this from Dave Miller, and I have to thank him for sending me this quote. And I actually heard and saw this myself, so I know it is true. This is not just something that was pulled out. And he says, this is a quote from David Zaslav in the last earnings call. As I talked to James and Peter about it, we're going to develop these things, and hopefully they're all great. If they're not, we have other options, and we'll see. That is not a statement of confidence in Gunn's DCU, and it is most certainly not. I think this is exactly why Warner Brothers Discovery is willing to let James Gunn take the hit on this and make it his show at the very beginning, because if it fails from the start, they're going to lay the blame completely on James Gunn. Here's what I think is going to happen. I do not think his Superman movie is going to be successful. I think they're going to confuse the general audiences. One of the arguments I get all the time is that, the general audience has to be brought in. How confused do you think they're going to be after The Flash when they bring in a new Superman entirely, a completely new Superman? But then they keep people like Wonder Woman, and they keep people like Peacemaker and some of those other characters that are scheduled to possibly keep their roles. Now, what's interesting is I have heard that they've offered all of these actors different roles in the DCU, like when the Flash switches stuff, that they all get kind of jumbled up into different positions, which would be kind of interesting to see as long as they fixed it. Now, here's where I think this is headed. I do not think those films are going to be, I don't think these projects are going to be successful. You're going to have, Creature Commandos is a niche thing. Yes, I'm going to watch it because I'm going to review it. You've got The Waller Show, which I'll watch because I'm going to review it, but I do not have interest in either one of those properties. I want Batman, I want Superman, I want Wonder Woman, I want the Trinity, I want a Trinity film. And people say we got that with Batman versus Superman. That was not a true Trinity film, okay? I want to see these characters already developed and out there doing their thing. We haven't gotten the meat. They're giving us potatoes and vegetables at this stage, but we don't have the meat yet. And it looks like James Gunn is going for the low-hanging fruit first, which don't have a lot of takers, all right? And the third big project is going to be, the Superman Legacy film. So where is this headed? Well, I don't think these movies are going to track well. I know Shazam is going to tank. I'm telling you right now, at least here in the U.S., like I talked about in China, Lucy Liu has a big following. It will probably do well, but it's not going to do well here in the U.S. The Flash will, simply because Michael Keaton is in it. That should easily be a $1 billion film. But it's not going to make $1 billion. I'm just telling you right now, I don't care how good it is, that movie is not going to break $1 billion. Why? Because people have no confidence in the DC brand. Bringing Michael Keaton back is only going to bring certain people in. It's really the only two reasons I want to see The Flash is simply because it's got Ben Affleck in it again as Batman, and they are bringing Michael Keaton back, and I want to see how that plays out. But I don't care that it's a Flash film. I really don't care about the other stuff that they're doing in the film because it really doesn't interest me. They've ruined the DC brand, Warner Brothers has, because of what they've done, and I don't think it's going to get better for them anytime soon. And then when the Superman film fails, I think what they're going to end up doing is David Zaslav knows in the back of his head, in the back of his mind, that yes, the Snyder fans were right, that they do need to bring Henry Cavill back. And if they fast-track a Flash 2 film that can kind of fix everything, I think that's what they're going to do. I don't think we're going to live in this Gunn universe for very long, if it even gets off the ground to begin with. There are reports that if these next two films, if this and The Flash don't do well, and especially when you have something like Blue Beetle come out, we could see that movie completely yanked entirely, and we could also see the Aquaman 2 film just completely taken off the schedule too if these films don't do well. There is still hope for the future. I don't think we're, it's all that dire yet. It looks dire because of the situation we're in. But the comment by David Zaslav tells you they understand the seriousness of the fandom. They understand that fans do have an effect, and they're trying something new. They're trying a new formula, hoping it's going to bring people in, but I don't think it's going to. What are your guys' thoughts on this information? I do appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys on the next video.